I have no idea if this story is true, what's going on, so I'm going to jump right to it. As I said before, not going to waste any time. Hayden Christensen wants Darth Vader series and new Star Wars project. Now, I don't know how much pull Hayden Christensen has amongst Disney Star Wars execs. But if I was an executive and a guy like this wanted a show like this, I think I would be inclined to say, you know what, Hayden? You want a Darth Vader Star Wars series? I'm going to give you that. I'm going to acquiesce. He's willing to do it. It's rare that you get actors that are willing to continually do certain roles, but I think people like this understand the cultural impact of Darth Vader playing that character and what it did for him, what it did for his career. And he probably would have just continued doing this had he gotten the opportunity. So, look, let's get into this article and see what's going on. CosmicBook.news. The article is written by Patrick Scanlon. At this past week's Fan Expo Boston, Hayden Christensen said he would 100% return as Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader in a future Star Wars project after Ahsoka Season 2. When an actor says something like this, in my humble opinion, maybe people disagree, this is where you as a writer, creator, director, you start pulling heads together and saying, hey man, this dude is game to do this. And it's rare that you get actors that are willing to lock into a role because they don't want to be typecast. But it seems like he has no problem with this. He is exactly where I would be had I played Darth Vader. I would be like, yo, yes, cast me as many times as you want. I will do this as long as you want. Just plug me in, coach. Where do you need me to be? I would love to. Yes, Christensen said, if the powers that be decided that's something that they want to see, I would be there in a heartbeat. And see, the powers that be should see that I think this is something fans will get behind. Whether they would do it or not, who knows. Christensen shared that one of the timelines he'd like to revisit is the Clone Wars era. I think there are some fun stories there to tell, he said. And if it meant I got to swing a lightsaber with Ewan McGregor again, that would be amazing. Again, man, when you got actors like this that are willing to do this, like Disney, start printing money now. Now, of course, obviously, it would have to be done right. And if it was done right, man, money printing machine. One can only hope. One can only hope. I'm not saying that this will happen, and I'm not saying what Disney will or won't do, but it would be dope. The actor also wants to explore more Darth Vader timelines. I think there's some good, meaty stuff there to explore. Still, Christensen said, if the powers that be decided a Vader spinoff is something that they want to see, I'd be there in a heartbeat, 100%. I would love to. It would be amazing to keep exploring the character in both eras. I mean, it really would. There's a lot of material out there. There's so many books and comic books that I have not read. If you don't know how much there is out there to the Star Wars lore, you might not get and you might not understand the fact that there are tons of material out there, things that they can pull from and work with to bring this to fruition. Hayden Christensen also appeared at Star Wars Celebration alongside Rosario Dawson and confirmed he will be back for Ahsoka Season 2. I think my understanding of the character is just continuing to grow, he said. We're getting to explore different sides of Anakin, which I'm really enjoying. I'm just enjoying the journey. Again, you got a guy like this that is actually excited about the lore itself. It's a rare scenario. Some actors do it just because it's a big paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with collecting your paycheck, but you could tell he's really into this. Christensen continued, he's a very complex character, and there's a lot going on, but I'm really loving getting to sort of play the more heroic side of the character in the Ahsoka show, and I'm very excited for season 2. Ahsoka season 2 is currently filming. No release date has been announced. Look, man, that's something. Now, I am not a Star Wars aficionado. I said this before, but as a enthusiast of Star Wars and someone who really does love Star Wars as a franchise, I would love to see this. I don't know where the Star Wars aficionados are at with this, particular issue, but man, I think there's so much Star Wars that there is to explore that is left on the table. A couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, I read the story about that Lucas Star Wars show that he already had treatments for, episodes written, and it pretty much just got tossed. I'm like, man, oh man, this man gave you guys the blueprint. All they had to do was take what George Lucas handed them, went over to the money printer and printed some more money, and they were good to go. I hope that at some point someone at Star Wars Disney understands, okay, we need to have a little bit of a reset, and we need to maybe go back and explore some of these things we just left off the table at the onset, like the George Lucas show. Maybe that needs to be put back on the table. I think the ship can be righted. There could be a course correction. Again, I'm not going to make any predictions as to what's going to happen. I know there's news that Gina Carano might be coming back to Star Wars. Now, to some fans, like I said, some fans will not return, and I understand. I'm more hopeful, and I'm more willing to give a chance, especially if they course correct, bring the proper writers in and actors who actually love and respect the lore and want to see these things work. I think that's a recipe for success.